Action Comics 1019.
God.
Ooh,
written
okay.
written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by John Romita Jr. And can I just say, this might be the worst JRJR art I've ever seen.
When Matt showed me a page, I think it was Matt that showed me the page.
Yeah.
I did not recognize said character without Matt's help.
Yeah, you didn't recognize Grodd. I'll say this, so Matt said, because Matt had clearly sent that page when he was only a couple of pages into the book, because when I went to read it, that was quite early on. That was not the worst. That was not the worst even that character looked in that book. Gorilla Grodd in this looks absolutely I mean, all the characters look bad, but Gorilla Grodd especially, it looks atrocious in
So
this.
I opened this up, and I accidentally turned that page, and I was like, I know that's Cheetah, but why is she this standing there with Shaggy Man? Because he doesn't remotely look like a gorilla at all.
I'll say it. The art in this, to use a phrase from the Gullivar, this is garbage. Gullivar, Vargulish. I'm going with Matt.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and then the story too. I don't understand what's supposed to happen at the end. Is that Metropolis gone?
Oh my god! Even the cover looks terrible.
What is this book?
Lex looks terrible. So this is basically an issue, because the end of the last issue revealed that Leviathan was working with the Legion of Doom during this big fight, and this issue is basically about how that came to be. It's all about the Legion of Doom and Leviathan meeting, and oh my god, Brainiac looks like a blow up doll on the first page. Like, what the hell is happening? Like, the art in this is garbage. Like, I have nothing good to say about this. Like, I'll say this right now, before we even talk about the story or anything that's happening in this, the best this book can get from me when we get to ratings is a 5, because it's half the marks are gone already because of the art. Yeah. Like, it can't get anything higher than that because of the art. It's that bad.
Is that theoretically assuming that the writing is perfect?
Yes.
So it's half and half.
Yes. No, and that's not necessarily how I rate comics typically. I'm not saying that's how I always think of it, but in this case, the peak that this can get from me is a 5 because of this art.
God. I'm just looking through it right now, and there's that page where there's Superman and Lex. It's towards the end where Red Cloud gets involved.
Mm-hmm. And
it just looks so bad.
Also,
where they're face to face.
Sinestro doesn't look like Sinestro in this. He looks like he's trying to do the evil version of Spock from the Mirror World from Star Trek. Well, that's what I'm getting from it.
You're not wrong, especially on the page where he's talking to Leviathan, right? And Leviathan kind of earns his respect.
I present you,
there's like a smirk.
For the video people, I present you the worst.
I need to pay attention.
The worst panel of the book. It's a low angle shot of Grodd, and I know the lighting's not great on this, but
he looks like he has a rectangle head.
What happened? It's like an anvil fell on his head and flattened his head. So basically, Lex wants to meet Leviathan because he's impressed. They measure their egos a little bit, and basically come up with this plan. Like, hey, and they get him to introduce them to Red Cloud, and Lex is like, hey, you almost killed him. If we weaken him first, can you finish the job? Do you think you'd be able to do it if you have the full Legion of Doom and Leviathan behind you? And that seems to be what this fight that we keep cutting to in the future is. It's like the final plan ends up being, hey, we're going to fight in Metropolis because he'll hold back because it's it's in the city and yada yada yada. There's a page where during the fight Lex blasts Superman with all of his energy, and it's just this wall of lines coming from the vertical middle of Lex. It's weird.
Is this?
I was like, is he moving? Is he? Yeah, his Apex Lex. Yeah. Is he? I thought, is he moving in super speed? Is that what that's supposed to be?
No, I think it's
a motion blur. No, but it's a blast.
Yeah, it's an energy blast.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. And Leviathan's head looks so chunky and Romita's art.
JR does that mask no favors. Like when you saw the original art in the mini, you're like, oh, that's a kind of cool mask. It's a little bit too much, but I get it.
See when it cut to Red Cloud character Good. See when it cut to her, I was like, who's this? Because she looks nothing like she is. She's like, and I was like, oh, it's meant to be her because of the hair, but she looks so different to every other version of her up until now. As an issue, it's fine. It's one of these things where it's here to just set up how the villains met each other, and the story and the writing for that is fine, right? but it's really hard to ignore the art. It's hard not to just read this and be miserable because the art looks this bad.
Yep. It's very hard to read. But no, like definitely that last page, that's supposed to be Metropolis being destroyed, right?
Yeah, the middle is basically a lot of destruction because of this fight, yeah.
Yeah.
I am absolutely in awe of how bad this issue was, and not because of Ben. I think that Ben, it's not the best issue because typically sometimes these villain issues are tend to be some of my least favorite of a run, but they're kind of necessary little evils of like, okay, here's just to explain how this came to be,
Right.
and it's fine in that respect. There's a couple of nice moments where Lex is impressed with what Leviathan's done.
Right.
The writing's fine. The writing's it's not amazing, but it's fine.
No, and you get the point that Red Cloud feels like she's in over her head as she's watching the two super teams go to battle, and she's just kind of watching from afar in her like full on demon form, So there's some nice moments there, but yeah, it was not good to read.
I would rather Brett Booth had done the issue. That's how bad this is.
Yeah, I don't like JRJR, and that sucks because I get that people do like him, but this is I even if you do like JRJR, I would think you'd look at this issue and go.
But yeah, but do people who typically like JRJR, do they like this issue? Because his first, because the first 3 issues of Silencer were JRJR, and I didn't like the art in that, but it was better than this.
Oh,
it was
like Kick-Ass.
Bad.
No, and you look at Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass has some pretty decent art, and it's JRJR. Or the first time I remember reading a full-on JRJR book was Wolverine Wanted, right, way back in the day, and that looked good. Like you could tell it was JRJR. This is like someone doing a bad JRJR impersonation, but it's JRJR. So, yeah.
Yep.
It's bad.
What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm giving this a 4. I did not like it.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. 3 out of 10 for me.
Oof.
This I did not like reading this, and usually if the art's mediocre and the writing's good, I can get past that and just enjoy the book for what it is. This was an example of the art being so extremely bad that I actually just did not like reading it at all. The quicker we get past this arc, because I don't really like this arc anyway, but I especially don't like the Romita art. So the quicker we can get out of this and into back to, because action was better than Superman for the first 12 or whatever issues it was.
Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Luckily, Superman's been very good right now, so at least there's some good stuff going on.